Calculator keys. As we look at the calculator, we will often want to use it for money problems. I've put some examples up here of money amounts that you might want to enter into the calculator. You'll notice that there is no dollar sign anywhere on the calculator, so you needn't worry about putting the dollar sign in. What we do need to worry about is using the decimal key. The decimal key on this calculator is located to the right of the double zero. I'm going to turn my calculator on, and I want to make sure I put in $24.56. So I'll press in $24 and then I'll press the decimal key to make sure that I'm getting the 56 cents correctly, and then enter the 56. I've got my number in, $24.56. You can see the decimal has been placed in there. Let's clear this entry and we'll try putting in 27 cents. Since I have no dollars, I need to start with the decimal. I'll put decimal 27. That means 27 cents. You'll notice your calculator gives you a placeholder of 0, letting you know you've entered no dollars into the calculator in this amount. Finally, let's put in a really big dollar amount, $24,560.67. Not only can you not find a dollar sign on your calculator, you probably can't find a comma either. You don't need commas in the calculator. We're just going to enter the numbers into the calculator as they are. So I'll enter 24,560, and then I'll use the decimal before I enter the 67 cents. Then I've carefully put in this number, no dollar sign, no comma, but the correct numerical values are there. Some other keys that you may want to consider on your calculator are these. We have 3 memory keys that you'll want to be aware of. M+ is the memory add key. This is the key you'll use when you want to put some kind of calculation into your memory and save it for use at a later time. M- is memory subtract. Perhaps you have an amount that you want to be subtracted for the memory. You can subtract it using this key. You may have an MR and an MC key separately, as my calculator does, or you may have an MRC key. In any case, this stands for memory recall and memory clear. If you hit this key once, it will give you the sum of the numbers you have entered into the memory. If you hit it twice, it will clear the calculator memory out. You'll have nothing left in the memory. A key I know you'll be glad to see is the % key. This will help solve many problems for you. The square root key takes the square root of numbers. It doesn't have to just take the square root of numbers like 4 that you already know the square root of. It will take the square root of any number that you enter. Then you have the plus or minus key that changes the sign to either positive or negative, and it can change it back again. These keys will be useful to you as we progress through this book.
You will be viewing a Texas cattle auction, but before we view the auction, I'd like to give you this problem. If a rancher received $671, $725, $635, and $795 at the auction for 4 of his cattle, how much money did he receive for all the cattle? But before we look at this video, you're going to be seeing first the cattle being auctioned, and then you'll see the auctioneer. I want you to try to understand the auctioneer. If you can, you did better than I could.
141 instead, 2, 3, 4, 5, 141X, 295, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 6, 7, 2, 5, 7, 9, 10,
Let's do the math. If the rancher received $671, $725, and $635, and $795, we just have to add those 4 figures together. And let's do that with a calculator. 671 plus 725 plus 635 plus and 795 equals, and the total is $2,826. So for the 4 head of cattle, the rancher received $2,826. I want to show you various scenes from my space program. As you look at these scenes, think of all the math and science used to build this equipment and the computers to operate these devices. Enjoy these scenes and marvel at technology. Remember, everything had to be designed and built. Think of the importance of math and science in producing these amazing accomplishments. We just looked at the amazing accomplishments in space. Now I want you to look at scenes from around the world and think of the importance of the calculator and measurements in order to design and construct these buildings. Look at these buildings and think of the designing that takes place for the electrical, plumbing, air conditioning, and heat for each individual building. First, the solid foundation must be designed and then constructed before a building is erected. Think of the city planning for laying down underground pipes for water, sewer, and underground wiring for electricity and phones. Then every building must have construction plans. Think of the building plans so water never enters these buildings along the waterfront. As you can well imagine, one needs to know measurements and how to use the calculator to construct these buildings.